And it'll show you your net interest cost of 1.79 and your true interest cost of 1.74. And I think we had been showing projections at over 2%, so we're delighted that the market stayed with us, most importantly, and investors did too. That's correct. Well, upon the council's action tonight, that will be the case, yes. The remaining 3 pages on this picture, the very last one, that's the cost of issuance. It wasn't the part of the bid. There are fees, the bond council, rating agency, you'll see all the various fees listed there. The miscellaneous you see at the bottom that we use for printing and posting and electronic bidding costs that we had to pay to use the electronic bidding platform today. So, that kind of concludes. These bonds are also prepayable beginning on September 1st of 2030, or about 10 years from now. So if rates were at such a place for us to come in and refinance the balance, we could do that at that time. So,
Correct?
Say again, Steve?
That would be very hard to imagine, correct?
Yeah, pretty difficult to imagine with that low of an interest rate, you know, especially 10 years from now. But quite honestly, to borrow like 20-year money at 1.79%, it's very strong production. We got bumped a little bit in terms of bidders today. Dallas had a big GL bond in the market along with us, but we probably would have got another 2 bids. I wouldn't expect them. The cover bids were about 180 and 182, so that tells you how close they were together. So upon your action tonight, we will award the sale of these bonds to Raymond James at the numbers I've just presented. Any questions?
Yes, I do. This is going to change that ordinance, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to lower your INS levy marginally for next year. I think we had projected like a $90,000 number, and it's actually going to be $84,307. You're talking probably fractions of a penny, maybe a penny, but probably fractions of a penny.
If they do approve it tonight, then could I get that?
No, we can take it right off of that. We'll just reinsert that number in the tax calculations. Now that we know definitively, assuming again the council adopts the ordinance, that if they do that, we can send that over tomorrow to the tax assessor and get them to make that correction.
Okay.
But you can always go ahead and approve it and have your hearings where it is now, Marvin. It's only going to go down from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't need them to sign anything until I get that corrected,
Who's they?
the mayor.
Well, he needs to sign the documents that were sent over by McCall Parker. But what I'm referring to is the worksheets that we did with the tax office to prepare all of your rate estimates.
Yeah, that's going to be different than that .002 we're going to have to.
Like it's going to be .002. It's just the decimal points after that will change. I mean, we only changed it $6,000 from what we projected. It went down, so it's probably .02 and 3 more points after it. So it's not going to move the needle much more.
So can we just approve it subject to that number being finalized?
Yes.
Yes, that would be a great thing.
And I don't know what that'll do with the tax. Well, that's INS, huh?
Right, yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Greg.
Any further discussion on it?
Steve or Darren? Do Steve or Darren have any? Steve?
I know,
Okay.
we can barely do,
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm having a hard time hearing what you're saying.
Is that a little better?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 1322-2021, authorizing the issuance and sale of city of River Oaks combination tax and limited surplus revenue certificates of obligation, Series 2021, levying an annual ad valorem tax and providing for the security and payment of said certificates, allowing the official statement, providing an effective date, and enacting other provisions relating to the subject to correction of the, what are we looking for, Marty?
The correction of the INS.
Correction of the INS, which will be lower.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve and adopt ordinance number 1322-2021, pending that clarification on the number. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go ahead, Craig.
I just said, after you just voted, I wanted to recognize Sam Gill is on with us right now from McCall Parkhurst. He's your bond counsel. Sam, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you in my initial comments until I sat down and saw your face again, but Sam was an integral part of this whole process. Sam, do you have anything you'd like to speak to the council about?
No, Craig, I think you summed it up. Mayor, council members, again, a very successful result today, and to just kind of get you the idea from the legal perspective, we will take the documents that Marvin will have signed at the meeting this evening, and we'll proceed to submit those to the Attorney General of Texas for their final approval, and the finance schedule has a funding or a closing date of September 15th, 2021, so about 2 weeks from now, you all will receive funds and get to use those for the project. Again, thank you all, and congratulations on a successful sale.
Hey, Sam, all the documents in that binder you sent me, you want signed by both the mayor and the city secretary tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's his way of reminding me not to leave without signing.
You did it also in the public minutes, you did.
Also, all the work that Craig put me through, the city should get a reduction of something.
All
No
right.
comment.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, move to item number 9, which is consider approval to award construction contract to XL4 Construction LLC, Texas Water Development Board Project CWSRF 73749, Priority Project 3, from all bids received and opened at 1 p.m. on August 18, 2021, in the River Oaks Council Chamber.
Mayor and council, you have in your packet my memo on this. This is a little brief history. This is last remaining construction funds. We asked that we put it together and go out for one more sewer project. And this is when I discuss funds, it's the Clean Water State Revolving Fund loan that we did several years ago. And that was a $7 million loan, and we're spending the last of the construction funds on the last project. And we have Trevor Truss with us online. He is our city engineer there, and normally they're in the office. I mean, they're normally in front of you, but they have a COVID quarantine in their office going on. So protect everyone's health. And with that, we did have 4 bidders on August 18th, and I will have Trevor present the bids and also his recommendation.
Thanks, Gordon. Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you. Like Gordon said, this is the last of the $7 million loan for the water development for the sewer projects and sewer improvements. Our construction, I guess the last of the budget was roughly $385,000, so that was kind of our budget on this project as well. We did have 4 bids come in. XL4 was the low bidder, and their bid was still higher than the budget, so that really kind of is just the market we're in right now. Construction costs are just really high, and they're rising daily, so we did reach out to XL4 and ask them if we could reduce the project